Hello, it's me again, Edward Chin, the creator of Peti-Peti. In this video segment, I will show you some basics about layout. Layout is a very powerful and exciting feature of building a web page. And in Peti-Peti, there are many tricks that you can use to lay out the boxes on the page. So let me just start by bringing you to this new web page, where, as you know, you have boxes, predefined boxes laid out 2 by 2. So you have 2 columns here and 2 rows, right? Now, one easy way to think about layout is how many boxes do you want to have, how many columns do you want to have across the page, right? And how big should each column be? Right? So just 2 questions: how many columns and how big should each column be? Okay, so that's one simple way of thinking about layout. So in this particular case, when you have a new web page in Peti-Peti, by default, it has 2 columns, right? You see the blue, this column here, and the column with the yellow box at the top. So there are 2 columns, and the 2 columns are of the same size, right? Let me just close the boxes so it'll be easier to follow the story. Okay, so this is a layout. The box, my new web page, has got 4 boxes within it, and the boxes are arranged in 2 columns, right? What that means is that if I select a box here and try to create a new box alongside, it will be under this first column, right? Let me just give it a different color so that we can differentiate it. And if I take this and say new box alongside, let me just change the color to blue. It will just go on to the other column. So that's the default layout in Peti-Peti. And let me just label the boxes so that we can keep track of where they are. Okay, let's just call this box 5, and this one is box 6. Okay, to change the layout, you select the parent box, right? So my new web page is the parent box of these 6 boxes. So you select that, and under boxes and layout, there is a layout option. So you click that. So let me just close this, and here is a selection of layouts that you can apply to the box that you've just selected. Don't forget that we selected my new web page, right? So whatever that we do here will affect my new web page. Now, is this my current styles? You look at grid 1.1, right? So that's the description of the layout. And grid 1.1 means there are 2 columns and they are of equal size. So 1.1, right? Equal size. I could change it to grid 1. Yeah, in this case, it has only 1 column, right? Or I could change it to grid 1.1.1, 3 columns of equal size, right? And I could also change it to grid 1.1.1.1 or grid 1.1.1.1, so 5 and then 6, right? So that's an easy way to change the layout of a box, where you make all the columns of the same size. But sometimes you may not want that. You want to have the one column being wider than another. For example, you could change it to grid 1.2. In this case, the second column is twice as wide as the first column. Or you could change it to grid 2.1, where the first column is twice as wide as the second column. Or grid 1.3, where the second column is 3 times as wide as the first column. Or 2.3, right? So this is the 2/5 of the width of the screen, and this is 3/5 the width of the screen. So there are different ways of sizing the width of the columns. Let me just select grid 1.1.1, and you can also do that with 3 columns, right? So you could, for example, do 2.2.1, right? where the first two columns are twice as wide as the third column, or grid 112. Yeah. So be aware of this. You can use it to actually lay out your boxes in creative ways, right? And note that you can do that also within the box, where in this particular case, box 3 has got two. Box 3, if you look at the layout of box 3, is also a grid 1-1, right? And you can change that to grid 1-2, grid 2-1, grid 1-3. Yeah? So wherever you have a box with boxes within it, you can change the layout in the way that I've just described. Yeah? Okay, so now when you have selected the grid, say for example for box 6, right? Let's look at box 6, and it's 1-1. Let's change box 6 to 1-3. Okay. Now what happens when you add a box inside it? When I add a box inside it, the first box is this, and then the second box is that. So there's 1-3, right? So the second box is 3 times as wide as the first box. Now box 5 does not have any boxes in it. Yeah? So let's look at the layout. It's also grid 1-1. Let me change the layout to grid say 2-2-1, right? If I double click, it will automatically add the 3 boxes in the ratio that of the layout. This is 3-3-1. Okay? So there are many ways of creating boxes within a box and applying the layout that you have chosen. I want to share with you an example of a layout that of a website, that our web page that I've created, so that you get an idea of how the layout actually looks in practice, right? So this, you take a note of this URL of the web page, and it's AdWords/festivals/Diwali, right? And as you can see here, this is the web page, right? Let me just get into edit mode. So this is the web page, and within the web page here, I've got this particular layout. Yeah, is 3-1, right? So as you can see, there's this left column here, which is 3 times as wide as the right column. And in the right column, if you check the layout, it's I haven't defined any layout, so I could change it. So it's just one column of boxes, right? And then within this, I've got another box within it, and as you can guess, the layout here is grid 1-1, right? And this is grid 2-1, and so on and so forth, right? So this gives you an idea of how layout works in practice. If I come back now to this new web page, let me just show you how you might want to change the layout and how it could look differently. So you could, for example, change the layout here to grid 3-1. Okay. and for box 2, you could change that to grid 1, so you have just one column of boxes, and then you could remove the boxes that you don't need. Yeah. Let's say I remove them, right? I just remove the boxes that I don't need, right? And I could also change box 1 to a layout of grid 1, so that's how it looks like, right? And within this box here, I could then decide to put in more boxes, right? So I could have a grid 1-1-1, and then in this box here, I could have grid 3-1-2, grid 3-1-2, and then if I add a new box alongside, I can then put in say grid 1-1 and so on, right? So as you can see, by just adding boxes within boxes, changing the layout, you can create quite a sophisticated looking web page, right? Now, one thing I wanted to share with you before I end is how will a web page look like in on a mobile, right? So if I come in here and get into a mobile view, okay, you get an idea of what I'm trying to say. So if I click this particular icon, it'll show me the web page as it would look on a mobile, right? On a mobile, it automatically arranges the boxes in one single column, yeah, in one single column. So if you look at this layout here, if you remember, we had this layout as grid 111, but when it's shown on a mobile, it's shown as a column rather than three separate columns, right? If you still want to retain the layout as a separate columns on a mobile, let's say you want to put it as two columns, then you should select the grid 11, right? When you do grid, the grid with a Y, GRYD 11, when you do that, you'll notice that on the mobile it has become two columns, right? So if I again select that and change the layout here to another GRYD12, see, it becomes that, right? So to note is, if you are happy just having a single column of boxes on the mobile, then select the layout that starts with GRID, right? But if you want to maintain the same number of columns on the mobile, then you select the layout that has GRYD, okay? Best is for you to have a play, and then I think you will get a better understanding of how the whole thing works. I hope that this has been useful, and please enjoy playing Peti-Peti. Thank you.